And Megan, do you want to pop up the active project for us?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So welcome. My name is Diane. Welcome to another episode of the Active Project Live. If you haven't been here, we're so happy to have you here. This is in collaboration with the United Spinal Association and the Kelly Brush Foundation. Um, I personally have a C6 injury, so I'm a quadriplegic. I was injured in July of 2020 and I now live in Boston. And Megan, I'll pass it over to you. Introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Megan. I work with the Kelly Brush Foundation. I focus primarily on the active project. So, as I'm showing you guys here, there's a ton of awesome things on this platform. And I'm sure I'll give you a brief explanation of it, but sports, event calendar, member map with a ton of different users nationwide. So it's really your go-to place for all adaptive sport recreation. Um, but yeah, I'm a rec therapist, happy to chat with anyone, but also excited to learn more about golf and your guys' experience.
And I'll post in the link where you can check out the Active Project and sign up. But a little bit about Active Project Live. So last year, so we've been doing this maybe for a year and a half now. The Kelly Brush Foundation, in collaboration with the United Spinal Association, started this virtual discussion group focused on adaptive sports and recreational activities. And this group meets bi-weekly every other Tuesday at 5:30. And the hope really is that this provides a platform for adaptive sports enthusiasts to engage in lively discussions about various recreational activities. So if you'd like to get on our email list, I will post that into the chat as well. And that will then send you reminders of all upcoming uh, events and discussion groups and our topics. And like I said, we do post these on our YouTube channel, so you can check out our YouTube channel and watch any previous recordings of sports we've covered. But yeah, this is the active project, so we have lots of different sports, and you can check out informational videos. We have sports and like events calendars. Let's see, a member map. So if you create your own profile, there's this member map where all the blue houses are, programs or organizations, and then the yellow are people where you can connect with. Like if you're looking, you want to go mountain biking, but you don't have anyone to go mountain biking with, you can message someone on here, and then find someone and have a buddy to go recreating with. So it's a really awesome platform, and there's a lot to explore on it. So take advantage of it. Um, but this discussion today is all about adaptive golf. So, um, adaptive golf is really a very fast-growing sport across the country, and we're excited to give you a firsthand look at what it's like to be a part of this amazing community. We'll cover everything from how to get started, adaptive equipment recommendations, stories from really experienced golfers, and how to find both recreational and competitive opportunities nationwide. So we have some great guests on the call today. We have, let's see, um, Jimmy. He is from uh, Michigan, correct? And we've got we had a couple other people. Want to just make sure that they are here. Um, let's see.
Why don't you introduce them because they may be popping on in a little bit.
True, true. Okay. So we also have Larry Senno from Arizona, Justin Miller, also from Arizona, and then Max Taganzala from Utah. Also we have Jonathan Snyder, who is the executive director of the United States Adaptive Golf Alliance. And Jonathan was really helping lead the national movement to grow adaptive golf through advocacy, through tournament development, community partnerships. So hopefully if he pops on, he'll share a little bit more about how you can connect to resources and events across the country. But to get started, maybe we can, I'd love to just like even kind of um pick on Jimmy a little bit and see like how you got started after you got injured into adaptive golf. And what that kind of how you first got introduced to it and what that looked like for you.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here, and I love growing the game as well. So I love golf. I'd go every day if I could, but obviously life gets in the way a little bit. Um, so I was in a car accident in 2006. I played golf casually beforehand. I was only 17 years old. I always loved it, but basketball took over my life. So I was always playing basketball. I actually still play wheelchair basketball. So I got in a car accident when I was 17. I'm a T10, complete spinal cord injury. Um, and then, after my accident, I was kind of like looking for other outlets. Always willing to try something. And I ran into a few people that kind of told me about adaptive golf from a solo rider or a para golfer, and I could just never really get my hands on them or try them. So finally, there was a local course, a county course that provided solo riders. So I went and tried it, and I had a great time, but it was super casual and it didn't really fit my injury so well, I would say. I had trouble kind of swinging the club and that sort of thing. And then later on eBay, I was just kind of like looking. I just typed in paragolfer and I happened to see one on there, and I was talking to the guy. He was from Arizona, and he kind of gave me a decent price because I just bought my house at the time. I didn't have a lot of money, and these units are unfortunately pretty expensive. I think brand new, they're going for about $30,000, which is a pretty nice car, if you really think about it. So, um, once I got that, I started playing more and more. And then next thing you know, I'm out playing with my dad and my uncle, and I'm starting to beat them and I'm starting to take it a little more competitive. And that's just kind of what's inside of me, for sports and stuff. So, and then one day, I think I was at like either a driving range or a golf course. Someone, his name's Kevin Holland. He expressed to me about like the competitive scene. And I started looking into it. And next thing you know, I'm watching the Golf Channel and they're talking about the Adaptive Open. It was its second year. So the USGA runs the Adaptive Open now, and to have the USGA be inclusive for adaptive golf is like massive. And I actually just got back. So it was my goal when I saw the second year, um, to get to that scene. I wanted to make it. So after year two, um, I qualified for the third annual and the fourth annual USGA Adaptive Open, and I just got back. It was in Rockville, Maryland this year, and I mean the amenities and how they put it on, and they really welcome us for that. It was awesome. We show up and we got a locker room, and there's a letter from Barack Obama in there. It's just like the support from the community, the golf course, everyone involved was pretty awesome. Um, so yeah, that's a little bit of a kind of the background there. I see Larry joined; he was there as well. So, uh, yeah, it's been great. So I don't want to talk too much, but that's a little bit how I got to where I'm at. So
Oh, thank you. And congratulations for getting there. And hi, Larry. Thank you for joining us. And congratulations for you too for getting there.
Um,
Um,
Thank you so much. Had a great time. It's said one of those experiences you wish everybody can experience. So, but yeah, they made us feel like a pro for a week or two. So it's great. Thank you.
Yeah, could you share a little bit about how you got started in adaptive golf after your injury?
Oh, sure. Well, let me answer. Let me answer.
And were you a golfer before?
No, I was not. Hold on, let me get this. All right. No, my story is simple. No, I never golfed before. I got hurt when I was 20 when we invaded Panama, and never golfed before. I played baseball and stuff like that in high school and stuff. And then once went about what 2001, my buddies all started picking up golf, and so I kind of went and found an instructor and started picking up golf and played really bad my first round, and a couple months I had a hole in one, and it was just on from there. Then 2018 was the first time I played competitively. 2019 at Jason's tournament, the U.S. Disabled Open, and once I found competitive golf, it was like 50 years old, very competitive person. I mean, I started going. I got a trainer, I got a coach. I got the VA to buy me another cart. What took me forever, but so yeah, once I got that competitive juices, and then naturally, like what Jimmy was saying, once the USGA started the Adaptive Open, that's when I keep telling everybody. Once Dennis Walters held up that first trophy, the world was put on notice that adaptive golf is here. People in wheelchairs people in wheelchairs are here to play this game. And because I don't know, I mean, like one of our biggest issues, as Jimmy knows, is with the adaptive carts. That's where our limitations are. So I mean, we are all good golfers. We can play with the best, but our whole limitation would be the adaptive carts because that's what we need, and they're hard to travel with. And that's why we started what we call the Seated Golfers Association about 2-3 years ago. So and that's what we're trying to work towards. Not only having our own championship, but also kind of figure out how to solve the problem with the mobility devices. But like Jimmy said, I could talk all day. So I mean, if you need more, I mean, I could talk all day about this. The passion's there. I mean, this is what I'm going to do in my golden age, is to make sure that the seated golfers have a place and have a voice out there. So, but I still got a couple good years left of me. So that's what I'm doing now. So I'll leave it at that. And like I said, I'll answer any questions. Like I said, anything. That's my whole goal right now, is to make sure, people that want to, help with adaptive golf, specifically with the seated golfers community. That's where my passion is. So I'll leave it at that for now.
Thank you. Well, you said that the biggest limitation is the cards, but like, is it the price of the cards, or is it something about the current cards that are out there that have limitations themselves? That just not the design isn't perfect yet, or
The carts are there. The technology's there. That's not the issue. The issue is availability.
Mm.
For instance, I mean, because we're now the tournaments are growing expeditionally over. I mean, there's 43 tournaments this year. Last year there was 38. I mean, they're just, and the state golf associations, they're multiplying like crazy. We've gone from having, just the Georgia State and one other in Florida. Now we have 14 different state golf associations. But the limitations, and if you go on some of these, and you'll see it if you go through, and Jimmy knows, as we start going through and you start trying to apply for these tournaments, there'll be disclaimers that some tournaments will have them, some tournaments won't. Then it's first come, first serve. So that's where the problem is. When I say the limitations, it's not our abilities, it's not the machine's abilities, it's the resources to get those devices out there. Just a real quick thing, and like I said, I'm not a sue happy person, but I mean, I've tried. Like I said, I've been at this since 2001, and I got frustrated because not to toot my horn or anything, but I got shot for defending the Constitution of the United States, and I can't even go to a golf course and play because of my limitations for me getting hurt, leaving my blood on another man's soil. So I've talked to everybody. I talked to Department of Justice. And basically it all came back to is you need to you need to get a lawyer, and that's what we did. And I mean, I'm proud of the fact that we did get a good settlement with the Marriott, and I'm proud of the fact that I personally, we did not make a dime off it. It was for accessibility, and it wasn't for me to make a dime off of it. So that's I mean, the frustrations in my voice when I talk about this. So I don't want to get off topic, but that's where we are. I mean, until we get, I always say the USGA and the PGA of America, if these big players don't come and play and help us, I mean, it'll die out on us really quick. Because if we try to expand, like Jimmy knows, we have three. I mean, we've gone to tournaments where there's one player, but then we've gone to tournaments where there's 8 or 9 players. Which now me and Jimmy knows, we get excited. I mean, it's just great to see other players. But now we can't get beyond that because of those numbers, because of the cart situation. So that's where, you know, and the laws behind it. And it's like I said, that's why I brought up the lawsuit. It's not, we don't want to go out and sue or anything like that. But what we're saying is, please follow the Americans with Disabilities Act, because you want to call me a hero for giving the use of my legs up. Well, show it in a way that, you know, can be constructive to help other people. So like I said, I can go on forever on this, but the frustration's there. And if we don't have a big organization to get behind this, it's not going to get solved. And what you're going to do, and that's why I brought up Dennis Walters, you're going to have these parents that are see their little kids are going to come, Dad, Mom, I can play golf. Look at Dennis Walters. Look at Max. Look at these guys. They can play. But when they go to the local golf course, there's nothing there for them to use. So that's the frustration with me. I mean, I've talked to everybody. I have solutions. I mean, but you know, my solution is the right answer. Probably not, but it's a get to go. But like I said, I'll stop on that because I could talk. I could talk for days on this, and I'll make sense. I'll make you cry. I'll make you laugh. But the bottom line is something has to get done, and I don't know who that person is. Somebody's going to eventually hear our stories, hear me speak, hear Jimmy talk out, and they're going to eventually say, okay, we get it now. So.
Yeah, I wanted to add in, I think having kind of as the recent tournament shown nationally, it's so important to kind of have that broadcasted and show what's available. Jimmy, you just added some pictures. I think that also just social media is such a huge factor for people to learn kind of what's available today and like what they can do. A lot of times people don't even know it's possible, right? So those are awesome pictures that you showed too.
Thanks. Yeah, but having it on the Golf Channel, having the live coverage, I mean, that's really what motivated me to take my game to the next level. Seeing that on the Golf Channel and getting the coverage, and Andy Stevenson does such a good job on there that talks and stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, the biggest hurdle for me was getting the unit. Just like Larry said, it's so hard to get that or get it rented or get it used or whatever. So, you know, there's a lot of talk, and I've met a lot of great people and a lot of people that are getting things together to make that more accessible, but it takes time, and anything we can do to speed that up and keep the game growing and get everyone involved. Absolutely. We just got the tee times for this tournament I'm going to in Michigan, and I'm the only one in my division. There's 2 other seeded players there, but we want to grow this where I'm competing against 5, 10, 20 people, if it, you know, hopefully in 5, 10 years. So yeah, it's moving in the right direction though.
I like to compare it a little bit to mountain biking, as mountain biking over the past few years has really launched, right? And mountain bikes aren't cheap either, right? Like the bowhead bikes are super expensive. Golf equipment, super expensive. So I don't know if anyone has any thoughts about that, but like ways to really launch and spread awareness to get other golfers involved in this community.
We also mentioned, Dave mentioned that Jerry and Steve are on the call, who are pretty experienced golfers as well. I'd love to hear from both of you and your experience and what equipment you use.
Step up, Steve.
Go ahead, Steve.
You're muted.
You're muted. Okay.
Oh, Shane, you're on there? What's up, brother? Steve? All right. Who
One
else is
second.
on
You're
there?
just, I think you're talking, but you're muted, just so you know.
Maybe. See.
Loose nut behind the wheel.
Oh, hey, I got it now.
There it
Go
is.
ahead, Joe.
Go
Nobody wants to talk.
ahead, Steve. Go ahead, buddy.
So I've been injured for 34 years. I've played all the sports at a top amateur level before my injury. After injury, I discovered wheelchair basketball, racquetball, tennis, bowling, you name it, water skiing, snow skiing. 10 years ago, I discovered golf and I got a hole in one in my third round back to golf, playing one handed and also blind in one eye. And that motivated me to start a foundation to help people have a resource for adaptive golfers, such as solo riders and um, para golfers. And now recently, I just came back from Germany, a reinvented para golfer called the Paramotion. And I am a U.S. representative for sales and service and a trained technician for para golfers and Paramotion golf carts. I have several carts available. We hold weekly training sessions. We have 3 days a week where we have league play, where we have veterans, we have amputee golfers, paralyzed golfers, all types playing golf here in Boston, Mass. It's seasonal, so it's tough to play, and be great at it. But we're pretty good golfers. Some people play local events. I stay pretty much in New England. And Jerry also promotes golf. He's been doing this for a few extra years, more than I have. Would you like to say a few words, Jerry?
Sure. Thanks, Steve. What we want is we want to get other people out there, letting them know how much fun we're having. I never really golfed a lot before my injury, but I was a hockey player, and I just happened to fall across the para golfer almost 20 years ago. So what we need to do is you need to go to, like I'd go to an abilities expo up here, and I'd see a guy from, it was called Department of Conservation and Recreation, a state-run organization that owned 2 golf courses. So he got in touch with me. He said, I want you to put on a little show. We're opening up 9 holes at this place in Canton. So I went down there. A blind guy went down there and an amputee. We all hit balls. He says to me, I'm going to get 4 of those, 2 at each golf course and 2 solo rides. I said, listen, I know everybody paralyzed in the Northeast. I've been a peer mentor at the Spalding in Boston. That's where I met Kelly. She's part of us when she was up there. And I said, I don't think I could put that many paralyzed asses in that many machines, but thanks to Steve's help, we've managed to get people in it. So here's what I just talked to a kid from Rhode Island, and there's a place, Buttonhole. I'm thinking with Kelly Brush Foundation, maybe you could keep track of anybody paralyzed using a paragolfer. I'm hoping to get a league going down there. 2 people using it every day of the week. And somehow they could call it into the Kelly Brush Foundation. We could keep scores. We could have regional tournaments. And I love being out there golfing. You're outside, you're with your friends, and you're in a beautiful place.
Mm.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I mean, I don't see why not.
Right, yeah.
I want to
Well,
see, I want to show really quickly just because we have it open. I looked for, so on the member map on golfers, and then you kind of can go on in here and you can find different users that may be interested in golf.
You have mpga.club on your map here in Boston?
I don't, let's see, is it Boston? Let's see. The places that I have for Boston are Spalding and Spalding. So we got to update our map. If you guys have any organizations that you know, you can always just add a program in for us. Or I'm happy to add it in too. But what was the name of it?
M as in Mary, PGA, mpga.club. adaptive golfers.
I'll add that in. Thank you.
And I thought I had already signed up to that, the thing you're talking about. I had signed up as Golf for All. You know, we get people with all kinds of disabilities back on the golf course, but we also do I was like the paralyzed guy for veterans. So it's all about helping others. When you help others, you help yourself.
I love that. Let's see. Is like that golf for all?
Yep.
I'll make sure to add yours in for sure.
Awesome.
You're welcome. Thank you guys for letting me know. That's what helps us out.
What advice would you guys have for people interested in like starting to compete? And like how did you guys start in competitions, and what advice would you have who doesn't really know how to start?
Well, the first thing you got to do is you got to get a WR4DG pass through for the world ranking stuff, and that's how you would get yourself classified. So you know what class you'd play in or what division. That's the first start, and that's where you can find that at. Is I know you can go to the USAGA's website. USAGA, yep. And then I know the USGA has it on there too. So that's kind of that's kind of the starting point, I would say. What do you think, Steve? I know Steve's been around longer than me, and
I played a lot of tournaments.
yeah,
Thank you, Larry.
yeah. So
Larry and I have met years ago, and great camaraderie.
oh yeah, no.
Yeah, he uses a Solar Rider, and I use at the time a Paragolf or now Paramotion golf cart. So I've played in all the amputee golf tournaments called Eastern Amputee Golf Association, and they post a website and they post all the tournaments, usually up and down the Northeast area. I also found out when Larry went to the 2019 Adaptive Open in Virginia, and we socialized during each day's event, and who was up, who's down, and who's hot, and what we're going to do about advancing the adaptive golf society and each region. And so in my area, I think I've advanced a lot when I purchased 3 Paragolfers, and I had access to 4 other golf carts that are Paragolfers and 2 Solar Riders. We could host a huge tournament, but we just don't have, I don't know, some kind of a association to run it. Maybe Larry could try to host that with the new USSGA.
All right. Well, we'll talk.
What do you think?
We'll talk.
We'll talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, yeah, definitely.
You know, and I go around fixing people's old carts, and I upgrade them with lithium batteries. I've done a great job with that, converting carts, over 17 carts now that are now back in service. So that's huge. Yeah.
So yeah, so like I said, Steve, we would go way back. But yeah, so the first thing you'd have to do competitively is get that WR4DG pass, and you could set that.
Classification's huge. That's the only way to compete fairly.
Exactly.
Right, is to have a classification card. It doesn't mean that everyone has to have it. You can still play as an associate member, but you won't qualify for the trophies or WRG4 placement.
Yeah. So and then as you get along, see that the way I look at it is, if you're coming first off, because Jimmy knows this, Steve knows this. I mean, you find that first adaptive tournament, you go there, you're like, man, I'm going there. I'm going to whip some ass. And then you get into your play like ass, and you're like, oh my God, am I even good at this or whatever? But like Steve was saying, the camaraderie is just unbelievable. I mean, I mean,
Well, it's a great way to gauge where you are in the world. You may think you're the best in your area until you start playing across the country or worldwide even. I was fortunate to go to St. Andrews to play in a great tournament against the world team. It wasn't meaning I was one of the best players. Maybe I was selected in 2019 at the time. And I was pretty good. I'm declining now from a lot of injuries, but I keep going. But that was a tournament to show the world that adaptive golf is huge and it's growing. And the USGA now hosting their fourth inaugural event since what, 4 years ago, Larry?
yeah,
And select players, top players are playing on live TV now, and that's huge. So exposure is a big deal.
yeah,
There is
definitely.
equipment available in certain regions, and we just need to have people have funding to get there and take time off of work. I mean, there's some obstacles in the way that
Yeah.
that's why there's 30 or 40 events. So you still have a chance to show yourself to the world.
And then what
I
I
think
said,
it's
one of
great.
the big things about it, and then what makes me come back for more is not, I mean, the golf is fun, the golf is great, but the camaraderie is unmatched. I
That's
mean,
right.
going to an adaptive golf tournament, I mean, as a player, I mean, I look forward. I mean, it's my wife's just like, "Will you just settle down? Will you just settle down?" It's like, well, I'm getting ready to go. I'm getting ready to go. I'm getting ready to go.
You're an addict. You're a
Yeah,
golf addict.
yeah. I mean, and I get there, but it's like a big family. I mean,
That's right.
look, Dennis Walters nicknamed me the mayor because I have to talk to everybody.
Oh, well, Jerry can hold up to you. Jerry's one of my buddies over here. He can hold up to you, Larry.
Hey,
but
what?
that's what it's all about. That's what we're trying to promote. That's the bottom line is when we talk about getting carts and having fun and all that, it's so people can come out and experience that feeling of being welcome, being you go out there and be yourself. You don't have to worry about whether you have one leg, no legs. My favorite guy is Jim Hunt. He hasn't been out for a while, but he had 4 amputations, and just to get out there and see everybody and watch people hit that golf ball, it's life
Well, it's
changing.
true. I'm a master boat captain, and I've given up the boat to play golf. I just I don't know. I used to be a good golfer, and I had a 25-year hiatus, and getting right back into it has changed my life really. And I've been so motivated to help people. And that's what I do here is I get people to try golf and hit a good ball or sink drain a long putt, and they're addicted and they want to come back again and again. And soon I'm going to have more people competing if they want. I mean, most of us are recreational players
Yeah.
here, but there's a few of us that have that urge to compete
Mm-hmm.
and go to a regional event, maybe travel further, go to a Southeast event, go Southwest, maybe compete in the Nationals. And that's how I got going. I got that urge. I've always been competitive.
What are some specific tournaments or events that you guys would
Well,
recommend or encourage people to go to?
you know what? I choose the events with scenery. Some of the places I've gone to, the very first one was a Treetops Resort in Gaylord, Michigan. I drove 4 days out and 4 days back for 3 days of golf, but the scenery was fantastic. Going to St. Andrews, unbelievable. Even if you're not a golfer, it would be great to go to Scotland. Uh, my gosh, just went to Germany so I could learn to sell paramotion golf carts and service golf carts and get my certificate now. I mean, I never thought I'd be doing this 10 years ago. Here I am thinking I'm going to retire, and now I'm like full in again.
Doing a
It
great
might not be competing, it might be just helping people play more golf and get involved.
You're doing a
More
great
good
job up
safety
there.
things. Thank
You're
you,
doing
Larry.
doing a great
Appreciate
job
it.
up there. Keep it up. Keep it up. I love it.
Yeah, thanks
Yeah,
for all you
we
do.
have a lot of golfers now.
Oh yeah.
We play 600 to 1,000 rounds of golf a year from 0 10 years ago.
It's
I'm
great
proud of
stuff.
it. Yeah.
Great
I'm
stuff.
really proud.
Yeah, you know what we need to do, Larry? We need to be ambassadors. We need people to go to places and ask them. If you don't ask, you don't get nothing. A lot of people would love to get a solo rider or one of those para golfers at their golf course. And, a supermarket, people will. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 people all pitch in. Next thing you know, you've got an adaptive cart down at this golf course and people can start to play. But we have to go out and ask. If we don't ask, we'll never get them.
That's
Mhm.
true.
What we do here is we get people involved. We have golf coaches, and I don't know if a lot of the other states are actually promoting training for golf, for recreation, stamina to play 9 or 18 holes. We need some more golf coaches. I know Jonathan Snyder is huge on that. I
Yeah.
mean, he's
We
big.
got
Are you
we
there,
got a we got a
Jonathan? Are
few
you there?
places out here coming. We got a few places coming on down here, but it seems like when you get with that, everybody starts competing for the same clientels, and everybody, like here in Arizona, we have 3 places that do 3 different clinics, but they don't all come together and work together. And I've been trying to get them to all come together for years to kind of collaborate because you're competing for the same clientele. But that's
Yeah.
just my
How
2
do you
cents.
how do you find a coach?
People make friends and they may go to the other organization, but you'll find new players too. So I never feel down about that. People want to move or make
Yeah.
a friendship somewhere else, and then that other maybe somebody else will leave the other place, come to you. So I always think positive.
Yeah. Diane, to answer your question, the simple way, like I said, there's a lot of different websites. The USAGA is kind of like our go-to right now because it usually has everything on there because there's I forgot the number. I forgot the last count on number 8 organizations that sign up there with all their stuff because that's where we have. You'll find clinics and stuff like that. You find organizations that do clinics. So there's down in South Carolina, they have a place. There's a Stand Up and Play foundations that do stuff, and like Steve up there, he's doing his stuff up in the Northeast. So you have, and then there's places out in California that have coaches and stuff. But the starting point should be with the USAGA's website, just because that's where a lot of it is. I mean, you pretty much Google it. I mean, I don't know what would pop up, but they're in their central locations with all. I mean, you just go from your state and all that. And then another good place that's coming along is the National Alliance for Accessible Golf. They kind of got a little database that they've been building here for like the last 6 months or so out there. Dave Barton out there, they're doing some good work coming up with a database to kind of help people to go to one place to kind of see where you can find, like I said, you're up in the Northeast. Well, where do you go? Well, if you look on these websites and these databases, probably lead you to Steve out there. So those are a couple of places to start. Now, not to
That's right.
not to shortchange anybody else, because there's a lot of organizations out there that are doing adaptive golf. Like PJ Hope does stuff for veterans, and then there's also there's another organization that I joined as Fairways for Warriors as well. So there's like that, those kind of offshoots, but with the adaptive community, everything would start with the USAGA, and then you can roll off of that, because if you don't like what you're finding there, then you can kind of see where other places and talk to other people. So that's there in the National Alliance for Accessible Golf. That's where I kind of, I would navigate people to kind of get started, because everything's there. So
I mean, I play in every association's tournament.
yeah.
I don't have one organization I go to, like just the amputee golf, because I'm 3 limbs paralyzed, so I consider amputee, but I play seated division, so to say, or multiple limb loss division, whatever. I'll play seated golf tournaments and USAGA, USDGA, you name it. There's so many organizations.
Yeah.
NAGA, NAGA is another one. I'm gonna play in that one coming up. I don't play to win anymore. I just love the people. I made so many friends, and I would miss them if I stopped. I just have to meet my friends.
Amen to that. Amen to
Right.
that.
Do you
So
think that's the biggest part of you keeping coming back and keeping you involved?
It is. It is. I mean, we're like a big family when we come together.
like I said,
Where's Jonathan? I haven't seen Jonathan on here. Is he here?
He was gonna pop on
Jonathan.
for early, but he could only hop on for the first 30 minutes and he must have gotten caught up. So
but yeah, if you ever want to experience, like I said, what I tell people when they go to adaptive golf tournaments, go either sit at the first or 10th tee and watch everybody come through there, and you'll see all the different. You'll see the every disability that it's adapted to golf, and you will be so amazed. And like I said, my first tournament with Steve up in the USDGA.
Yeah.
I saw the one
Wow.
guy get up there. He was on one leg, and I'm sitting there. I was the tee behind. I was tee behind him, and it was Brian Beamer, and he got up there and he smacked. Oh yeah, he smacked that ball, and my fan side came out. I was like, oh,
Well,
that was
let
amazing.
me tell you.
But just to watch, that's what I take. That's what I tell people. If you want to experience, if you're going to experience it, that's the way to do it. Go ahead, Steve.
I was invited to watch the the North American One-Arm Golf Association, NOAGA. They held a tournament in Newport, Rhode Island. I was in disbelief about the guy's one arm hitting it 330 yards. So I went to go see this, and I was in awe, seeing Jesse Furski and the world's best golfer in one arm, and so that's when I got started, because I could hit the ball 240 when I first started. I'm lucky to hit it 150. So, but that's coming with age and injuries. But I'm still playing because I just love it so much. And I was just in awe to see, like you said, Larry, to see someone play so well in a wheelchair, and Max Torgasala. I mean, shooting scores we've never seen before. That's huge. I brag about his scores all the time. It's very impressive. I am really impressed. I wish I could have
how
seen
did
that
you
too.
guys adapt your swing or playing style based on your body and mobility,
Yeah.
and I guess in injuries? How do you adapt based on your injuries too?
Well, you find your swing. Some people can play two-handed with a lower class T injury. I'm a T4. I just don't have any strength, except that I was a tree guy and a carpenter and home builder and a captain, and I've used my arms my whole life, and they're pretty strong. And I learned how to hit a ball one-handed. I found balance, and I realized when I played racquetball, I was a world champion. I always play one-handed, tennis one-handed, basketball I shot one-handed. You play sports really one-handed in a lot of ways. That's your form. And so golf, you can play one-handed. Or some guys have played with no hands. we make adaptive equipment to get everyone involved into golf. That's why it's called adaptive. We make equipment to fit a person's needs. And the motorized vehicles, they can be adapted for, I would say, a 10-year-old through an adult sized person. I see somebody trying to talk.
I don't know. I just started playing from my wheelchair. That's when I got my instructions. So I was hitting from my wheelchair, and then I'd go to lessons. I did like 4 or 5 lessons, wheeling in my wheelchair, hitting off that. And then my instructor's like, well, there's just a special adaptive card in the city of Phoenix. So I go over to the city of Phoenix, and how you doing? So I go over to the city of Phoenix, and I still went on my wheelchair, and then I finally got into the solar rider. And once I hit that and I got out there, it was like, oh my gosh. I mean, like I said, at 50 years old, I got a whole new lease on life, but that's how I opened that all up. I mean, and then what I did is start sitting on this thing, put the seatbelt on me, and basically just sat there and swang like kind of baseball. And I mean, I sit down purely. I don't raise my seat up at all, because I just keep my feet on the ground and just swing. So that's why I've done it. And I got, like I said, I got all the young kids, Max and Jimmy and all of them trying to get me to stand up in the paramotion. It's like, no, I ain't got that much time to sit there and try to learn a whole new swing. But no, so that's how I did it. I don't know how Jimmy, you want to shoot on how you got up there and started hitting with the.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, I tried the solo rider first, and then with my level of injury, I felt very uncomfortable. I felt like I was going to fall on my face every second. So then I got the paragolfer, and it was actually kind of the same. I started with a one arm swing. I felt like I was falling forward, but I found out that there's some adjustments you can make, and maybe you strengthen some muscles and you get used to it in that sort of way too. And I was trying to play as much as possible where now I swing two-handed and I'm fairly comfortable. Not as comfortable as I'd like to be, but that's, there's limitations there. So, but there's still ways and to improve and strengthen and just be, just improve every day. So, but the one thing I'd like to say about like the whole golf thing is, they have adaptive sports, like I said, wheelchair basketball, and you're playing in a wheelchair, that sort of thing. But um, then you go to the golf course and you're playing with your dad, your uncle, your sister, all those sorts of things. You're playing the same game as them. You're using an adaptive unit, but you're playing the same game and being outdoors and going everywhere and going in bunkers and one time I put my paragolfer in the water. It was really bad. But you got to be careful. But I mean, just being out there and playing with everyone, playing the same game that they're playing and stuff is that's really what got me hooked on the casual side of things, not the competitive side of things. So,
Right.
yeah.
Like
Yeah, could I ask a question
the
about
body.
some of the equipment?
Sure.
Please.
Yeah, regarding solo riders and paramobiles, do you find that I don't know which has a larger demand from your clientele that you have? Do you typically find you need one of each or two of each for your groups, or is there one that seems to be more universally accepted or not as far as choosing equipment?
Well,
it's an individual assessment, and if a state organization has to meet code for probably each level player, I would say a solo rider and one each paramotion now, and the solo rider is a good start. But I always say that no one wants to play alone, so you buy two.
Yeah, good point.
Right. Nobody wants to just go out there and stay at the driving range and then hope that somebody will say, yeah, come on board with our threesome. It's good to be out there with another friend of equal capacity as you.
Okay.
And then you build your camaraderie and then you build up an organization. Now 2, then 3, 4, 10. We have a lot of people playing golf now using each cart, or not even just those 2 carts. I'm talking 4-wheelers too, because the amputees can drive those. So we're not limited to anyone. We have all kinds of people playing golf. It's spraying all over the golf course. It's fun.
Yeah.
So Alan, just to piggyback on Steve there. Each card has their limitations. There's pros and cons there's actually 3 now. There's the paramotion, there's the verticat, and there's the solo rider. They'll have their own things. Like a solo rider would suit more of a lower level injury and more like of a mobility issue. So that would suffice a lot more that way. And then the higher injuries or the paramotions and the verticats now, those seem to work really well for higher level injuries. On the scale of you're asking, does one use one more than the other? Like Steve was saying, right now it's. I mean, I go to what we say had a tournament, Jim. We had 9 there. 4 use solo riders, 3 verticats, and 2 paramotions, I think. Somewhere along those lines.
That's pretty accurate. Yeah.
So so it's still a mixed batch. It's like I said, each one has their pluses and minuses. So that's where we're at. That's where I hope that answers, pretty much.
I mean, part of my interest was trying to possibly develop a hybrid between like a paramotion and a solo rider, that with a single cart you could address both natures of the degrees of impairment that you have. And it just seems like it's a tough assignment to get something to fit for everybody. But I think if you recognize maybe the solo rider is good for certain things and the para golfer is good for certain things, and to try to combine that is an interest that I have, at least.
Well, the answer on that, I mean, I don't need to hog up everything, but I've been at this for 22 years and wanting, and like Steve's been at it longer than me. But a lot of it, and Steve, you can correct me, and Jim, you can correct me on it. A lot of it's going to be with the seat. The solo rider doesn't stand you all the way up and doesn't have the thing. The para golfer and the verticat stand you straight up. So if you're looking at to try to combine the two mobiles, it could possibly be because it'll be about the seat and if there's a foot plate and things of that nature. Now, having the seat swivel to the side, I don't know if that'll affect anything like that if you wanted to put on like a normal golf cart or anything like that. But the key would be the seat and how the seat works, I would think, and just from being around everybody and all that. But now, Steve and Jimmy, I don't know what you guys think if that, because from what I'm gathering,
Well,
it's just
the convenience feature, Larry's saying, the convenience features have to be suitable to each player. So if you're trying to make one machine do it all, I think Solar Riders tried to do that. They've been the first one out there since 1970, I think, and endorsed by Jack Nicklaus. And they provide a golf cart in every city across the country, as far as I know. And the carts live to high standards with the players. The Paramotion is now FDA approved, so there's a lot of testing involved. If you try to redesign a cart, there's some high standards to meet. And that would be great if you did come up with a design that you could approach.
Do you find that the Paramotion golfer would raise their seat more vertical than a solo rider user?
Yes, it stands you straight up if you want to be.
But do they go that far? And
yes,
do you go perfectly vertical or close to it?
I don't myself, because I've been in one position for a very long time. But I just to come to mind is one of our newest players stands straight up 90 degrees, and he's doing very well. He's doing very well. He was a hockey player, and Jerry stands up pretty straight too, if I remember. Everybody has a different swing. If you're playing two-handed, you're probably not standing straight up. You're playing one-handed and holding on with the seatbelt on the other side, holding your balance.
Okay.
Maybe you could come up with a contoured seat that holds you in better. I always thought a contoured seat would be great feature.
Okay.
Yes.
So I always think an inventor always wants to be one up on everybody else. Something that nobody else can do.
But yeah.
Also, Alan, you just can't go to a golf course that has one of these machines and say, hey, I'm going to use it. You have to be trained on it. They're not toys. They're very serious, and you can't mess around and start going up and down hills. You have to be very careful with them, and you have to be trained on how to use them. But that's what we need people to ask golf courses to get more of these machines out there so that we can play more.
Okay, good point. And just a quick shout, I see there's a few people from our Sarasota adaptive golf program. Just say hi to everybody. Hope you're having a good summer, and I'll turn it back to you guys for the call.
Do you play golf, Alan?
Yeah, I'm an adaptive golf coach with the program in Sarasota, Florida. And we do have a fleet of, I think, 8 adaptive carts currently. And
what do you have? Which ones do you have the most of? You have models?
Just from our demand standpoint, we've borrowed one para golfer at one point when we had a golfer that needed it. But to date, all of our golfers have been more of a solo rider type. We have some old Golf Express carts. I think we've got 2 of those, and we've got 6 solo riders at the current time. mostly due to our clientele needs and such.
On a lower scale, some senior, super senior players are just using scooters they can buy off the internet, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And courses are allowing them. I discouraged to see that, but like I say, there's a cart for everybody at a certain price range, and that's what they go with.
Yeah. Great. All right. Well, I appreciate the input, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anyone else?
I have a question for a friend of mine's husband. And he had the Paragolfer, and then he just purchased the Verticart, and he hates it. And unfortunately, he can't get on this Zoom, but he's golfing right now. Any tricks to maybe some adjusting or something that maybe he kind of asked any tricks to using that compared to the Paragolfer. Is it
Well, Dave, I would suggest a couple of things because, like I said, I played with Solo Rider, but I've watched over the last year because that's when Verticat's been rolling out. I've been to a lot of tournaments where a lot of guys have to do adjustments to them and all that. So I would recommend two things: maybe reaching out to Verticat and kind of see if they can help you talk through some of the adjustments to it. Or you could reach out to the Stand Up and Play and see maybe if they can help you with some of the adjustments. Or I know Max. He has to adjust a lot of his because he usually gets pretty much a new one when he plays in his tournaments and he has to get it. So there are a lot of adjustments to it that you can do. I know that. I just personally don't know how to do them. I just know a few people that can kind of answer your questions.
Can I get your contact info and then I'll have
yeah,
you can reach him?
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, you can I mean you can take my name down and my phone number or however you want to do it. I don't know how to type stuff on this thing, so
do you mind just saying it over the Zoom?
Oh no, go ahead. It's I don't care.
What's your phone number?
My wife knows me. 602
Yeah.
418 4855. And anybody can have my number and call me anytime if you ever have any questions.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jerry.
And it's Larry Celano, Celano.
The Chinese got it now. The Chinese now they know.
Oh yeah, that's all right. I like Chinese people.
I say, Dave, I've also worked with the Verticats on a weekly basis. We have like 3 at one of our locations. And what I've learned is like the seat fit is the key to it. Jeff, if you call him from Verticat, he's the main contact out there. He would be able to talk you through the whole process on like how to set you up properly and everything like that too.
Awesome. I'm sorry. What's the contact name out there?
Yeah. So Jeff from Verticat, he, I want to say he pretty much is the main guy out there. They're based in Minneapolis. So right. We've had them come out to a few of our events and I've learned a few tricks from him personally. And pretty much the biggest thing with the Verticat is the seat. It's gotta be, his legs are gotta be at a 90-degree angle is what we learned. And then also too with the support, the leg support too is like, it can be a little tricky, but they have upgraded to, depending on how new the cart is that you guys have, they have upgraded that leg support as well. So it's a little bit easier to adjust for the individual. And then once you guys have it set, it's pretty, just keep it at that same setting and it's usually pretty easy going from there. If you have to change it, depending on if you're doing multiple people, then that's where it gets a little tricky, but Jeff is a great guy. I can give you his contact information too, if you would like.
That would be awesome. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to shout out Jonathan here too. Thanks so much for joining us, Jonathan. Hi.
Hi, Jimmy.
That's the man right there.
Hi, Shane. How are you doing down there?
It's great to see you've been shouted out a couple of times during this call already. So
yeah. So I actually just put Larry's email for the CV Golfers Association in the chat.
Thank you.
I'm digging up Jeff's contact information, unless Shannon's going to go ahead and drop that in the chat too. Definitely just here as a resource. I'm happy to put my email address in the chat as well. And but you got an all-star lineup here, Diane, between Larry and Jimmy, and then Shannon and Shane. You have some folks with some incredible experience here on the call. So if any questions come up and I can be of help here for the first 15 minutes or so, I'm here and happy to help.
Hey, Jonathan, real quick, throw the USAGA's website address in that too, because I was telling them about that's where I forgot who was asking, but I was telling them that's where all our information is to kind of get started.
I did throw that in a little earlier. It is in
Oh,
there.
okay, good. Okay,
Yeah,
good thing. Yeah. Still learning technology, people.
You're a lot further along than me, buddy.
Man, rest in peace, Ozzy. It was a sad day today. Rest in peace, Ozzy.
Any other further questions? I mean, Shane, I feel like you've you know, given some thumbs up and nodded your head a lot. I feel like you have some experience in all of this as well.
Everybody's pretty much covered the basis. One of the biggest things that I feel is the exposure. Getting more of the tournaments, getting people more aware of these tournaments that are happening, even if they're not playing, just to show up. What it would do for their lives, and you know, the inspiration and encouragement. The thing is like, I really believe if we can get a lot more exposure for adaptive golf, the trickle down effect is only going to be what you're going to see is you're going to see kids across the country being more motivated to work harder in their physical, occupational, speech, and communication therapies to get the most out of themselves, knowing that they have these fun, really cool events with really, really amazing people. I mean, where in the world do you get where all of a sudden you can have an event where someone like me from Sarasota, Florida, can meet someone from Arizona like Larry or Jonathan in Illinois and all become good friends and look forward to each and every event to be able to get together and see everybody. You know, the camaraderie that's been talked about. If you haven't been to one of these events, it's something special to see. It really, truly is. So
Just
a
quick little shout out to Steve Kuketz as well. I just now noticed that he's on the call there. Looks like he's hiding underneath the Golden Gate Bridge over there. Mr. Kuketz has a wealth of knowledge as well, especially when it comes to the adaptive cards. Sorry to interrupt, Shane. I wasn't trying to.
No, totally. And what's going on down here with the kids? I'm able to share a lot. You know, I was able to share the feed with, you know, the golf channel and everything else with some of the kids that we have in our clinic. And I say kids, and, you know, a lot of them are in their 20s, but they're just, you know, whether it's autism or Down syndrome, these guys are getting motivated and going, this is really cool. This is something that's the next level of special, you know, on a total different level than Special Olympics and more suitable for their abilities. And they just really feel like, oh, this is great. This is something that I can be a part of. And now they're asking me the questions, what do I have to do to be able to be playing these tournaments? And so the more exposure that the world can get to these events, the better it's going to be for everybody.
Absolutely. I think that's just like the power of sport, right? And like what it can give you, what it can bring to your life is really powerful.
Well, it's absolutely amazing what it can do for people. So sports is just a very, very powerful entity, and we got to use that for our benefit.
That's great.
So, but yeah, I'm one of the golf coaches with Alan down in Sarasota, and you know, we're working on stuff down here, trying to get everything. So got a lot going on.
Well, we're finishing up on our call here, but thank you everyone for joining. Any final last questions or comments? I welcome them. But
Diane, that was great. Thank you for inviting me.
No, thanks for joining.
Thank-
You guys really brought a lot of great knowledge, and again, we're going to post this on our YouTube channel, so everyone will be able to look back and be able to learn from all of you and see what the sport has to offer.
Thank you, everybody.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Great
It was
talk.
awesome.
Thanks, guys. Have a great night.
All right,
Thanks.
you
And
too.
we'll see you
Take
all
care,
at the
everyone.
next event
Okay.
soon.